think it's helpful to always like break it down to like small examples, right? Empathy is a big word and what exactly we mean by it. And I think it's easy in a position of leadership to say, I'm here pushing buttons, putting money to this organization, going to this event, speaking at this institution. But a lot of it's just listening and finding your role in a group. One example I have is, I'm a councilman for the city of East Palo Alto, and I'm one of four other council members. And a lot of times, what happens is there's a discussion, and sometimes it gets heated. You know how, like, when you're having a fight in your family at the dinner table, and your brother or your sister, your parents, someone said something, and might be name calling, might be pushing buttons, things that you might be sensitive about or insecure about. I think civic government's the same way. We all have our different perspectives. Some people want more greenery. Some people are worried about parking. Some people are worried about what are we doing to get young people involved. And we all have to kind of find a compromise. But a lot of it isn't even about the ideas themselves. It's about making sure that if Christian and I, for example, have a disagreement, that he's always gonna feel respected. That I always take his ideas seriously. It's really important that when you're in a group of people, whether it's a city council meeting or your friends at lunch in the cafeteria or going out on a Friday evening, um, if you're trying to make something happen, right? If you're trying to get something done, even especially if you guys disagree, it's really, really important that you take the time to really discuss and to make the other person feel that they're being heard, right? So on a bigger picture, city like EPA is very diverse. We have a Latino population, African Americans, Pacific Islanders, Asians, whites, people, different languages, different streets, and people obviously are going to have different points of view. And it's really important that when you're thinking about decisions that affect a big community, um, or even decisions that affect your family, that you think about somebody else and you think about the other side. So the ways you can practice that now is, like, let's say you go into the store and you know that your little brother loves Oreos, right? And you know, you might be in a fight with him and say, I'm not going to give him the Oreos. But sometimes it takes being the bigger person and saying, that gesture might open up a bigger conversation. Maybe y'all were in a fight. Maybe he had said something that was upsetting, or your sister said something that was upsetting. So leadership is kind of like the same way. You have to keep tabs about the relationships you have with people. And if you want to get something done, maybe you need their vote, maybe you need their support at a dinner table, maybe you just miss them. Leadership, you don't have to wait until you are in an organization to really get stuff done. It's helpful, but it starts with just every day asking yourself the basic questions: how can I make someone else's life a little easier? How can I make it a little bit better? How can I, you know, really be more empathetic? And a lot of it, to be honest, is just listening. A lot of it is again, if there's a fight with the family, figuring out. It's almost like reading people. Like it's like when you get a text message, and there's sort of you see the dot dot dot, and you say, oh, what does that mean? And one person says, oh, it means they're upset. Other person says, oh, it means that they're pissed at you or they're ghosting you. All this analysis happens when people are texting, when people are talking. You got to take that same analysis with people in everyday life. Try to interpret their actions, why they're doing something,